The Center for Innovation and Technology is offering you a golden opportunity to speak directly to your market at an affordable price. We also offer media training workshops, live streaming, documentary production, and events management. Get in touch with us today on the following numbers: +263 867 711 0290 or 0718 100 235. Don't forget to subscribe to our social media platforms. Like our Facebook page, Center for Innovation and Technology. Follow us on Twitter @SiteZW. And you can also check out our website, www.site.org.zw.
Welcome to the Girls Table. My name is Angeli Sochuma and I'm your host for today. I have two beautiful ladies with me to talk about money and girls. Welcome, ladies. Can you please introduce yourselves?
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Audrey Mzondo from Junior Achievement Zimbabwe.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maudi from Junior Achievement Zimbabwe.
Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
I know JZ is conducting Global Money Week trainings. I'd love you to tell us more about JZ, what you guys do.
Okay. JAZ stands for Junior Achievement Zimbabwe. So it is a not-for-profit making organization that seeks to educate and inspire young people on three basic areas. That is entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and work readiness. Because our mandate is that also of financial literacy, we take the opportunity also to celebrate the Global Money Week.
So the Global Money Week, it's an initiative that was created by the Child and Youth Finance International Office. So it's an annual event that takes part during the month of March. It's an opportunity for young people to be exposed, to learn more about money issues, to learn more about financial literacy as well, to learn more about entrepreneurship skills. So it's a campaign on its own that builds and aims to motivate young people and empower young people.
Okay, like which areas did you guys conduct your trainings?
Okay, during this week, we've been going to schools. We've partnered up with several banks. Partnered up with Mob Capital, right? We've partnered up with other banks as well. So we've been going to schools. We've gone to Montrose, we've gone to Girls College, we've gone to Masocha, we've also gone to Dominican Convent. So we've been going, just teaching young people, young girls, young boys as well, about the importance and for them to just know. Because I think the challenge that's there is most young people don't have the knowledge about money, don't have the knowledge about financial literacy. All they know is that they can study accounting, can study business, but they don't know what financial literacy is. They don't know how to manage their money. They don't know what investing is, and they also don't know how to spend their money. So what we've been doing as Junior Achievement with other banks is going to these schools and just educating them and just empowering them so that they learn at a very young age. Because I believe young people should be trained at a very young age so that they become better citizens and so that they can manage their money well and manage their finances well.
Do you know what I always hear? I always hear people saying that financial literacy is only for people with money.
Okay.
And I would love to hear what you think about that.
Okay, so that has been the perception for all these years. That's where we come in as Junior Achievement Zimbabwe, because the perception has been that when you talk about money issues is for older people, money issues is for people that are now working. When now going to work, we can be able to save from what they get as their earnings. But we are trying to get away with that perception so that young people, they know that at their age, as young as grade 1, as young as grade 5, one can be able to save the legal that you get.
Just to add on to what she said, there's always been a perception growing up, especially, that our parents were the ones who had access to money. They're the ones who knew more about saving, who knew more about investing and so forth. But that has been changing over the years, right? Young people, especially young women, are the ones who are now getting involved into entrepreneurship. They're the ones who are now getting into buying and selling. They're the ones who are now opening their businesses. So there's now there's now need for them rather to be financially equipped, to be financially empowered. So that's why we as Junior Achievement have what we call the financial literacy workshops. So in those financial literacy workshops, we just teach them on how then do you handle your money, how then do you balance your books and stuff like that. And then also there's a perception that it's not easy to save up. It's not easy to save up and stuff like that. But I'm here to just say, to encourage people, rather, especially young women, that you can save. You can open an account. There's several banks, several financial institutions that offer this platform that you can only maybe produce just your ID and you have the ability to open an account. With that account, in as little as $2 or 20 cents, you can go and save up. So we need to empower our young women, empower our young kids that, don't wait for your older parents or for your older guardians, so to speak, for them to, to be the ones who are saving on your behalf. Empower yourselves, learn more about saving, learn more about investing, and importantly, learn more about entrepreneurship skills.
And someone may ask what financial literacy is all about, because when I was growing up, we didn't get the same platforms that you guys are giving the young people right now. And most of the lessons that I learned were from mistakes.
That's
true. Where you get money through business and you squander all of it, But someone be like, why am I supposed to do financial literacy? I know how to do my buying and selling. Why should a young woman learn financial literacy?
Okay. Financial literacy is something that is of importance, not only to older people, but to also those young kids, because I believe those young people, they're the future. So if they're educated about money today, I'm sure in the next years to come, we won't have any problems when it comes to money issues. Because let's take, for instance, someone who is able to save money right now when he or she is a kid. Imagine one day when she is a mother, she can be able to save for your kids' education. That's why you see that maybe our parents were somehow poor because they were not taught about financial literacy. They were not aware about financial issues.
With being a young woman herself, we always leave financial issues to our boyfriends, to our husbands. How important is it for a young woman to know how to handle finances? And I want us to talk about the theme, learn, save, and yeah.
Well, financial literacy teaches you how to manage your money. Young people can now manage, especially young women, they cannot manage their money. If you can manage your money, you can make better decisions, better spending decisions. So for example, of late, there's what we call the online shopping. If you don't have the knowledge of how to spend your money, you spend your time on your computer, on AliExpress shopping and doing all sorts of things, right? However, if you know that, okay, I have $50, I can only spend $40, maybe $10 is for something else, that's where you'll be able to manage your money. So financial literacy teaches them on that. It also teaches them on having, how can I say it, money skills, for example, right? You must understand, or living within your means, let me put it that way. It teaches you to live within your means. That way you know that I've got $50, I'm going to budget for this and that and that. So young people, young women rather, they're now getting that knowledge. They're now learning as the time goes on that I can do this, I can budget my money, I can spend wisely my money. Because I think the challenge that was there in the past is people were not living within their means. People just thought money would just,
They're still not living within your means.
Yes.
You find buying $500 here, and realize that someone doesn't have property. They don't even own a car, but we think it's okay. So how can we break from such decisions where you don't have to spend $500 just to be seen by people? We love to have this look so that someone else, when they see you, they think you're rich.
Yes,
especially us, the young people.
Yeah, that's true.
So how can we as young women break away from that and invest? Because it's something that we don't talk about.
That's true. That's true. That's why we as Junior Achievement have taken it upon ourselves to teach them when we're still young. If you've noticed, we're not going to people who are 40 years of age, but we're going to primary schools, we're going to high schools. We're training them while they're still young so that they can also equip that information to their parents, to the guardians, and then they can also carry that as they leave school, as they go into university, as they go into the workplace. So it's something that we want to do at a very early age. You know, in Ndebele they say, correct me if I'm wrong, that you train them while they're still young, right? So that's what we as junior achievement are trying to do. And most importantly, like you say, that you see somebody buying hair for $500, you know, that's lack of financial literacy. That's lack of knowing how to spend your money, you know. So instead of that, let's say you earn 400, you must know that your budget, I have to pay for rent, I have to pay for medical aid, I have to pay for food. That's what we're teaching them now. From a young age, learn to budget. Then when you have excess money, then you can buy yourself your hair, you can travel. And then if you can save up, you can buy your hair. So that's what we're teaching them, that you're not. You can still enjoy those luxuries that you want, but only if you save. That's why we're saying you learn, you must also earn, you must work for the money. Don't just wait to be hand-given the money. So earn, then as well save the money.
And then someone may say that right now in our economy, we can talk about saving, but how feasible is it for us to save?
Yes, that is a question that we got from maybe all the schools that we're in. Because they were saying, how do I save? Honestly, with this economy, how can I do
Imagine
that?
these are young
people,
school children. What about someone who works like me? And I'm also asking that question, how can I save and where do I save? I know you guys are not financial planners, but like when you are dealing with all these financial institutions, what do they say? How do we save? How do we make sure that we save? And we're not just saving, but we're getting something from our saving, because it doesn't make sense for me to save my $100 and it doesn't earn interest. You know, because you talk about investment, you know, like financial literacy, it also talks about investment. So how do I save by making sure that I also earn interest on my finances?
Okay. So when it comes to saving, I know the economy is not that good, but the reason why we target these young people is to try to instill that culture. If someone has that culture in him or her, it becomes a habit to save. So that when they grow up, it's something that is in them. They won't have any problem with that. So when it comes to the economy, that vehicle that you save, I know, of course, maybe one day the dollar is our RTGS can devalue, but at least you have something. You won't get wrong on that. You gain something on that.
But are you ladies saving? Because it's easy for us to say go save, but
yes.
you are saving.
I think just before, I just want to add on to what you just said about saving, about how young people have a negative perspective on that, right? I'd like to say, you know, just be positive in life. Why then do we go to work? We go to work because we believe tomorrow will be better. We go to school, we go to master's level because we believe that our tomorrows will be better. Same way why we save. We save because we trust and believe that if I save my money, I'll be able, you know, to buy myself a car, my first car, I'll be able to renovate my parents' house. Those are the reasons why we save. So now, why we then teach young people and why we then teach young people why they should save, you know, it's because don't be negative. Don't be affected by what's going on around you. But you as a person, you must believe that, okay, if I put the little that I can, it will take me a long way, you know. So, yeah. And then, can you just repeat the question that you had asked?
Like, do you ladies save? Like, do you guys have savings? Because it's one thing to say save to other people, but you are pushing this program.
Yes.
Are you also doing what you are teaching us to do?
Okay. I like the phrase that says walk the talk. That way it becomes easier. I cannot go and teach a young person to save once I don't, because there I'll be teaching something that is not feasible. But so we try also so that we can save something.
Okay, if you don't mind sharing, like, just one secret how you are saving, because I think some of us, like, we struggle with how to start saving. We love the idea, but how to start saving, you know, maybe if you don't mind sharing, because I know so many people, like, they will not want to share like their secret how when it comes to saving. So just one thing that you do that has enabled you to continue saving.
I think the trick is to start. I think the challenge that's there, we procrastinate all the time. We tell ourselves that I will do it, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it when I have money. Just start. If you have $2 in your account, or you have 2 bonds, 2 other TGS dollar rather, in your pocket, just put it aside. That's how you save. Some people can say, I can't keep cash. Then open a bank account. There's so many banks, like I mentioned earlier, there's so many banks that allow you to open, right? And you can deposit as little money as you can. You can put that aside. Or give it to your mom or your father and say, you know what, I'll collect it at the end of the month, right?
What if my mom is not good with money?
Sign, right? You know, have an agreement and you sign. Or it doesn't have to be a parent, it can be anyone. But the whole thing, what we're trying to instill is the principle behind saving. Any amount. Because I think we have that idea that when I'm saving up, I need to have a lot of money. No. When you're saving up, even if your target is to have $10 by the end of the week, that's saving up. If it means I was going to buy lunch for $5 and you buy lunch for $2, put that $3 aside. That's saving. So saving starts with very small amounts, and before you know it, you would have, a lot of money by the end of the year. So at least have a target. Tell yourself that, okay, I want to buy myself a pair of shoes, or I want to buy myself a car. It doesn't have to be anything big or anything small, but have a target, have a goal. That way, when you have a goal, you work towards it. So the challenge that's there with young women especially, right, we get distracted by a lot of things that happen around us, and we have so many obligations that we have at home, and maybe you say, maybe my little sister now needs money for this, and you start removing from your savings. Right, you must at least be principled. It must be the money that you know that you won't need to use. Right, I know the things that happen, unplanned things. But however, like I spoke earlier, you must budget. When you budget, the excess money that you have, put it aside and save. Give it to someone, put it at the bank. Some people prefer keeping their money in foreign currency. It's up to you. There's so many ways that you can save. But the most important thing is to start. Don't wait for tomorrow. Start today. It'll work out at the end.
I was thinking about when you're saying that we need to just start, and like with the budget as well. And most people say, yes, I do my budget, but somehow I never get enough to save, And I'm also a financial person, and when we talk about financial literacy, we talk about pay yourself first. And I remember when you say that to people that you need to pay yourself first, they always assume that you mean go spend the money.
Yeah.
Go spend the money. When in actual fact, it means that you need to save. And the other thing as well, when we're also not saving, but when we're doing our budgets, we always forget to give ourselves a little. That's why we end up spending, willy-nilly. So how can someone, when they're doing their budget, make sure that they also have money for entertainment, like buying clothes and going for movies? We're talking to young women, who want to spend money on hair, on shoes. How can they make sure, like what's the percentage? Is there a percentage that's prescribed for someone, like when they want to budget for entertainment?
Okay. On that one, you talked about the issue of paying yourself first. That is the secret of the lion. Okay. Yes. So I think if you save first, then it gives you something to look upon to. So just save. See how, from what you get, see how can I save 10%. How much can I afford? Because you can't say you can save 50% when you know that your money is legal. You cannot be able to survive after that. So save within your means. Save within your means.
And more so, live within your means. You're saying save, I'm saying live within your means. The challenge is we want to see how Maud is doing. We want to live like how Maud is living, right? You must know that, okay, you earn 150 or you earn 400 or you earn 700. That's the amount that you earn. You know your responsibilities, that you have to pay rent. You know you have to maybe contribute for your brother's or your sister's school fees. You know what you have to do, right? And then at the same time, you need to know that you're working. You need to treat yourself. So you put aside a little money for yourself. That way, if you budget, everything falls into plan. But the challenge, and most people say, how do I budget? Budgeting is just getting a piece of paper, right? I've got $100. I'm going to spend $50 on this, $30. Just break down your money. And some say maybe, how then, things come up. How can I follow it? The economy is bad,
I have a family that's depending on me.
Exactly, yes.
Black tech. So how do I do all that with all the responsibilities that I have?
It's a challenge. I won't lie. I don't want to say it's easy. I don't want to say that, it's impossible. It's not easy, but it's very possible. You can do it, and you can only do it if you commit yourself. I think it only boils down to commitment. If you're not committed, you never achieve anything in life. So even in life, whatever you do in your workplace, at school, if you say you maybe enroll today for a degree, if you're not committed, you won't finish that degree. If you have an assignment, if you're not committed again, you won't be able to complete it. Same applies to saving. If you're not committed to that, you won't be able, everything will be coming up, right? So in as much as we have black text, and I know it's a reality, it's a reality, and we all experience that. You must also take into account in your budget that I know I have an obligation. I have to give my mom this percentage. I have to pay for water. I have to pay for electricity. Write it down. That's the principle. Write it down and learn to live within your means. That way you'll be able to, live a good life. And after that, if you save, maybe after 3 months you'll be able to buy the hair that you want. So you must understand that you are different from Maudi. You can't buy the hair this month, but maybe after 3 months, after you save, you can buy the money. I mean, the hair.
The hair.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe to add on that. Financial literacy, it teaches you to have that discipline. It teaches you to have discipline. So if you say that, okay, I want to buy my hair and it costs maybe $300, but you see in a month I cannot afford that. So you will sit down and say, okay, so what can I do in order to achieve, to buy my hair, the hair that I want? So instead of that $300, how about I carry it into maybe 3 months? I save 3 months for that hair. Than rather getting all your pay and also getting into debt to buy the hair that you want. Why not save? Just cut it off. How many months can I buy that hair? If it's 5 months, okay, so the first month I'm going to save $50, $100 every month. You see how you can afford it.
Then there's someone like me, you've been making bad decisions, you don't know much about financial literacy, I'm indisciplined, I'm an impulsive buyer. So do you think there's hope for me, for someone like me? Because we always say it's so hard to learn things, like learn new habits when you're older. Do you think it's possible for someone like me to start saving, to start learning about finances and to start earning? Because I feel like sometimes it's easy for us to say, no, you can do this, but if you're now older, you're thinking, I've been doing this for a long time, there's no hope for me, I just want to buy my things at my own time, life is too short. Do you think there's hope?
No, there is hope. First thing that you have to do is ask for help. If you're really struggling, ask for help. The problem is they were a bit proud. You don't think the next person can help you. Maybe your best friend is very good at saving, and you've seen them buying a lot of things and you wonder how they're doing it. Ask. You lose nothing by asking. Actually, you're the person who's going to gain more knowledge by what? By asking. So ask for help. There are other organizations like us, Junior Achievement. If you come up to us and say, I just need help on financial literacy, which workshops are you conducting? Do you have anything up in store for us? They can help you. So I think you just need to put yourself out there. You need to ask for help as well. And you need to be committed. And if you have the mentality that things are not going well, I tried in the past, it doesn't work, then you won't achieve, You need to have a clear mindset, you need to commit yourself, and you need to know that you want to do it, right? You need to want to do it. Because the challenge that's there, we say a lot of things, but we don't mean it. So you need to mean what you say and really want to do it. If you want to do it and you're committed in doing whatever you want to do, it will work well at the end of the day. So like you, come to us maybe after the show. We can give you.
Yeah. It's
not too late.
Yeah. You're 40, you're 50.
You can still.
Okay, like I know the programs that you do mostly with school children, but for people who are school leavers and young women in business, like do you guys have programs for them?
Okay, on that, we don't only focus on in-schools programs, but we also have out-of-school programs. Yes, whereby we deal with young people who have maybe recently graduated. We have different programs for them also.
Okay. So like when you're dealing with those, like the school leavers and the young women in business, what are the worst financial decisions have they made? Like, you know, when you ask them, why are you struggling in finances, what do they say? Because I know I was an impulsive buyer. You know, if I get money, I'm thinking I need to travel to Vic Falls, I'll do it without even thinking, without even checking my budget. So what do young women say? Why are they struggling when it comes to finances?
Oh, okay. I think mostly it's lack of direction, it's lack of purpose, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, you want to start up a business, but you don't know what you're passionate in, you don't know what you want to do, right? Then you end up venturing into a hair business, and you make a loss, and you wonder, spend so much money, right? So the challenge that's there is they're not doing any research. You know, you need to research about the product that you want to sell. You need to understand how the market is doing, how well the market is doing. Because right now, for example, the hair industry is a bit tricky. People don't have money because it's being sold in foreign currency. So these are some of the bad decisions that they're making, that they're not researching, they're not asking for help, they don't know what's happening, the current market, how it is like currently.
Okay, I'm making money, but I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not saving, I'm not investing in anything. I'm getting my money, I'm spending it. You know, so what are the bad financial decisions, so that, you know, our viewers, they can also check, like, you know what, actually I didn't know that this was a bad financial decision, because I know overspending and spending without planning. So what are the decisions?
Okay, if we look at young people, especially girls like us, we find comfort in clothes. We find comfort in our hair. So you see, maybe someone has been disappointed, and she says, what can I do? In order to console myself, let me go and spend. And she buys all the fashion that she can think of, and she cannot afford.
So the only bad decision is spending, nothing else?
I think it's the root cause, rather.
Okay.
I think it's the root cause. Yes, there's lack of knowledge, there's lack of knowledge, but the root cause is spending, it's overspending, is not living within our means. But if we eliminate that root cause, if you understand that, you know what, this is how much you earn. No, if you teach yourself, if you learn more about financial literacy, if you understand this is how much I earn, you then be able to utilize your money, be able to spend your money wisely, and you'll be able to spend your money in things that you need. And the other thing, I think she spoke about it, we tend to spend money in things that we don't really need. You know, we tend to see what the next person is doing. So I think those are some of the bad decisions that we've made. So as a person, you must look at yourself and say, what can I afford as a young woman? What can I afford? And the responsibilities that you have at home, are they going to be affected by the decisions that I'm going to make? So you need to think, you know, and that way you make better decisions.
Do you want to add?
Maybe young women, we have that perception that our money is for spending.
I've heard that.
Okay, I'm a lady, not married. Why would I say for? Okay.
I don't have a child?
Yes, I don't have a child. We'll buy our first house with my hubby when I get married. First car. Okay, yes, I can have a car. I can buy my own car. But a house, what for? We'll buy together with my hubby. That's the perception. So they believe, why spend? Why save? My money is to spend and do good. So that's the perception that is killing us. But I think we have to get away from that and see how can we deal with this. We can actually do a lot.
That's true.
Is that, like, when we started, I asked you about the perception that's out there that financial literacy is only for rich people. And I think people still don't understand what it is all about and what the purpose is, what are we trying to achieve with financial literacy. And, you know, I always see that, like, with people, when you talk to them about financial literacy, like, I don't care, you know, I'm okay with what I have right now, forgetting that it's for your future, you know, it's to set up your children, because you know how with other races, they are able to leave legacy for their children. Then as people, we leave nothing, you know. So I think financial literacy is for us to learn about, you know, investing and earning and saving for the next generation that we're going to leave. You know, I don't know if that makes sense.
No, you do, especially for young people, for young women rather. there's been a perception that, like she said, my husband's going to help me buy the first house, my husband's going to help me do this. We need to empower our young girls at a very young age. They need to understand that from a very young age, they can take care of themselves. They can earn their own money and buy whatever they want to buy. They don't have to wait for the next person to spoil them. They don't have to wait for a husband, to maybe help build a house, build an empire. You can do it by yourself. And how then can they achieve that? You can only achieve that if you equip yourself with the right knowledge. And the right knowledge is what? Financial literacy. It's learning about how do you handle your money? How do you spend your money? What are the opportunities that are there for you to invest? How then can you budget? How, if you want to open a bank account, what are the things that are needed? So young women must be, they must be taught at a very young age. They must have that knowledge. That way they can make better financial decisions. That way they won't have issues of saying, I'm waiting to get married. Or they, I'm sure you've noticed that 23-year-old, 24-year-olds start getting stressing and saying, I can't wait to meet my husband. That way we can start building. And you ask yourself, no, you can do it by yourselves, You can go to school, you can equip yourself, get yourself a good education, buy yourself whatever you want. If you meet your partner, that way you can merge your things together. So we can only achieve that if we teach them at a young age. And as junior achievement, we're doing that from primary school, high school level, and school levels as well.
Oh, ladies, thank you very much.
Okay, maybe to add on that one, you realize that lack of financial literacy is that is maybe leading the girls into being taken advantage of. Because someone will be just looking for, I'm looking for a sugar daddy for the blessers, just because she needs to survive. She needs some money so that she can be saved by people. So I think financial literacy is the way to go, and people won't take advantage of you.
People won't take advantage of you. Ladies, thank you very much. We can go on about financial literacy. It's my favorite topic, actually. As I said that I did my master's in finance. Before we close the show, I would love for you to just give advice to our viewers, our young girls.
Okay. Oh, well, like I said, first things first, learn to live within your means, right? Learn to live within your means. Educate yourselves. Go to school. Go to university. Get your first job. Buy yourself whatever you want to buy. Treat your parents. That's the advice I can give in that, educate yourself. Empower yourselves. Don't wait for the next person to take care of you. Don't wait for the next person to give you that money. But empower yourselves and go out there and learn more about financial literacy. And most importantly, come to our offices and we'll teach you more about junior achievement.
Okay. The first thing on the theme is learn. Okay. So as ladies, let us go out there. We are better off because these days we now have technology. Let us use those data bundles to change our future. Let us use that Google so that we can know how can I save? What is to budget? How can I do it? You will see that your life will change. The next thing, you'll be taking a step to save. And after that, after saving, you'll be earning. Because actually when you save, maybe you can see that, I actually have money to spend on myself. Let me go to Victoria Falls and just spend on myself. Then life will be good for you.
I love the theme. It says learn, save, and earn. But I thought it was supposed to be the other way around. Learn, earn, and save. Thank you for joining us. See you next week.